Hi everyone, my name is Rosanna. I'm here to tell you about the 10 golden rules of thrift shopping that I live and die by. Everyone who knows me knows that I love designer, but I also cannot resist a good buy. And I mix high and low fashion together when I style my pieces. So number one tip, look for the fiber content. So I want you to go into the stores, get a feel of what cashmere wool silk is. And I usually just rummage the racks at one point. When I'm feeling especially lazy and I don't want to look at every single piece, I just touch and feel the pieces until I can find, oh, this is a cashmere piece. This is a silk piece. This works especially well with scarves and sweaters for those wools and cashmeres. So obviously I ignore all the polyesters, acrylics, and I try to go for only the quality items. So for example, I just wanted to share this. This is one of my best thrift shop finds of all times. This was a wool alpaca blend scarf with a genuine fur trim. And this one actually doesn't have tags on it, but I managed to feel it out and I found this gem. And I think it was only like 15, 20 bucks at that time. So that's number one. Number two, recognizing the brands that aren't necessarily from your country or from your state. And just knowing that those are actually genuine finds. I find from my thrift shops, over the years, they've increased prices on local or popular brands such as Aritzia, Wilfred, TNA, Lululemon, all that kind of stuff. They've marked that up real high because they know that that's super popular. But actually, there's so many other brands out there. I would get a sense to look at like Net-a-Porter, Essence, Nordstrom, just to find out all the other brands. And I shop regularly, so I'm kind of familiar with other smaller brands. So just have a look. And sometimes pieces are great, and they don't have to be from Aritzia or Lululemon to be great. And I always, if I find a piece that I like, passes that quality fiber check, I just do a quick Google search on what that brand is and if it's worth of me picking up. So that is number two. Number three, it's related to number one and two, but look for the country of origin. So I'm going to show you a couple of pieces later that I've also picked up recently. And they're all generally made in Canada or made in Italy. So sometimes, you don't find the content or you don't know the brand, but if you can see that it's a made in Italy piece or made in Canada or USA, maybe it could be like a sign of a really good quality piece. Number four, look for discarded items. This is one that you probably have heard, but it is one of the best tips ever. So look for items where they have discarded racks. So some thrift shops, they have put back racks where the employees collect the discarded items, they put it on a rack, and they eventually go through the store and put them back in their correct categories. Always, if you see a rack of putbacks, look at those putbacks first because there are gems that other people have picked up and for some reason have discarded. Some stores, I realize the employees are super diligent and there's not much discarded items, but I still find a couple of pieces usually by the fitting rooms or by mirrors. Right now, because of COVID, I don't know if it's because of COVID or a new thing, but my thrift shops around my area, they've stopped fitting rooms. So I find a lot of people, including me, just change close to the mirror. So you find a lot of discarded items there. And that is where I find a lot of really good stuff. Number five, this is one of my favorite ones. Shop out of season. So right now it's winter, dead of winter. I am literally wearing a coat in here, not just for styling, but because it's freaking freezing. It's like -10 today here, -10 Celsius. Shop out of season. So it's a winter, but I don't necessarily only look at winter clothes. I look at summer. I pick up probably the best like tank tops, dresses, skirts, and shorts during this time. Actually, this is one that I want to show. I got this one at a thrift shop recently. It's from Guess. It's like 12 or 10 bucks or something. Love it, love it. Gives me that Versace vibe. But yeah, out of season. So this is a bodysuit, strappy bodysuit, but I got it during the winter time. People usually, if they're going to be cleaning out their closet, donating things that are out of season as well. So that's a really good tip. Number 6, figuring out what categories that you like and just doing a casual scan through when you walk into the store. So for example, I love to scan through dresses, leather and furs, blazers, and shoes. So I just scan through those racks. Generally, I pretty much find what I like during those times, but just figure out what categories that you enjoy, and just do a scan through. So I want to look through the entire store because it can be very overwhelming with lots of categories. And I don't find some categories having good stuff regularly anyways. Like I wouldn't look at t-shirts if I was, unless I was super bored. Dresses I find are really good because usually some people just wear them a couple of times and then donate it, or even once or never. So I find a lot of things with tags at the dress areas as well. Number 7. So we found some good items. Now what do? Number 7, condition of the items. So if we're choosing between a couple of things, look at the condition. Look at, is it pilling? Does it have wear and tear? There's discoloration on whatever the item is it stained? If it can't be fixed or it's old, I would probably just pass. That is super important. You don't want to get something that you have to fix up too much. So I just want to add to that too. So I've got this dress, this beautiful long dress that I found for like $10-ish, but they had a big rip at the arm. But because that rip was at this actual seam, I just sewed it up, no problem. So it just burst somehow. But if that rip was in the middle of the fabric, no way am I picking that up. Okay, so number 8, very important, price. So we're thrift shopping for a reason, because we don't want to spend much money, or honestly, that's probably the main reason. So price. I have a general rule of thumb that I don't pick up something that's over about 10% of the retail price, or whatever that retail price I think could be. So don't be picking up those $10 thrifted H&M t-shirts. I would have a stroke if you actually did that. But I would pick up like a $10 t-shirt that's made out of silk. And on to number 9. So the best outfit to wear is just a plain pair of leggings and a strappy tank top. I usually just go for black or black and white. That way you can just throw things on, easy, you're ready to go. Also minimal layers. So don't try to get, don't bring a scarf, a heavy jacket, depending on the season, of course, but I wouldn't go for many layers when you're wearing it in the stores, because you're gonna have to take it off and hang it off somewhere. And number 10, our last tip of the day here, switch locations. You want to also look at thrift shops when you're traveling. I got a couple of really nice pieces when I was just traveling across state. So I think traveling, going to different locations around town, you always find different things. And it's more fun for yourself too. And the very last thing before we end off here is just a bonus tip. I personally don't shop during sales. I think that's controversial, but I don't shop during sales for thrift shopping. It's so messy. Some of my thrift shops around local area have about a 50% off day once a year or twice a year, but I don't think it's worth it. Everything gets picked through. There's so much people there. It's very claustrophobic. There's so much people, and there's not much good stuff left because everyone is literally picking through everything for 50% off. So I rather just go at non-peak times and find the other great pieces with all the tips I listed. Oh, and I just wanted to show you a couple of quick pieces that I picked up and how I'm gonna style them. This is my newest find. I thrifted this shearling coat from High Society. This navy blue, I'm just wearing with a black bodycon dress here. I also got this cute denier leather jacket that's a little past hip length, and I'm just wearing with a plain black bodycon dress as well. And I would just wear probably some kind of pop of color accessory, like a bag, jewelry, or really nice boots. And this is the last outfit I want to show you. So this is the tank I shared in the video from Guess. This tight pink skirt here that I thrifted and wearing just with one of the jackets that I already own for a winter look. And that is all we have today. I hope you like and subscribe this video if any of these tips helped you out. Thank you so much for watching.